Hey everybody, Jeff from Corrugated Cavalier here. I've been working with the Fiore sword in one hand section a little bit, not really going through like every single play because some of them are a little bit tricky to do without a partner around to work with. So, I want to, on this channel, kind of give ideas for solo training because that's what a lot of us are doing, and also just kind of my take on things because there's plenty of people out there who have been doing Fiore a lot longer than I have. So I just kind of want to give you some things that I'm doing that I've been working on, see if maybe it might help people in a similar situation. So first of all, the sword in one hand section, I believe is pretty clear that it's not necessarily about a one-handed sword, and probably isn't about a one-handed sword, judging by the pictures. It's more so dealing with when you only have one hand on a sword. It could very well work with one-handed sword, of course. There's nothing saying that it couldn't. But just in situations when you find yourself with one hand on the sword. And these can be very short situations. So all of the plays in this section come from the Remedy Master, which is basically, it's mostly just a stance in this case, or a guard. And it looks like this. And I'm looking at an enemy who's coming over my right shoulder, basically. Okay? So this drill that I came up with goes over 4 common actions from this position. One of them is from a side that the manual doesn't show and I kind of made up, but I find myself in that position, so I'm going to include it anyhow. Just my own little addition to Fiore. Okay, so the first action is you're in this guard, and an attack is coming in, and you take a step out with your right foot, off, kind of across the line really, and you do a one-handed ascending beat. You can think of it as a false edge sotano if you want, with the step, and then you strike a pendente. Boom. And you can come back to the guard or wherever it might be after that. In this case, I'm going to go back to the guard because I'm going to do another play. So once again, that is from the Remedy Master. Step, beat, pendente. Okay. Good. And the next action, this one is not shown in the Getty manuscript, but it is shown in others, starts the same, step, beat, but then step and thrust. Okay? I kind of like that one because you're also, it shows the hand up here, and this could get into some elbow pushing. At the very least, it checks their arms. Okay, so the next action is going all the way across the line. You're starting in the same position. You're going all the way across the line, stepping a bigger step out to the side, parrying here. This hand is coming up, and you step in to check their arms. And there's plenty that you can do from there. You can do the Gadura Mizana. There are a lot of things you can do, or just check their arms and thrust. And the last one is from the other side. So looking over your left shoulder. Like I said, the manual doesn't show this, but I find myself here sometimes. So looking over the left shoulder and using a similar idea to the third one that I showed you, the third play that I showed you. It's not the third play in the manual, just the third one that I showed you. Similarly, you can make this cover, but you have to go in a really straight line. You have to kind of like punch with the quillons almost up. And this hand can come out at the same time, underneath the sword, for sure. And then you're kind of in the same position as the other one, right? You're just coming from a different side. Um, so a couple of tips. Whenever the left hand is also coming out, something that I think makes sense, but I learned it from Tai Chi sword, is Tai Chi sword incorporates the left hand a lot, and a lot of times they'll be coming out at the same time with the same rotation of the hips, right? So it's not like sword cut and then the left hand does something, right? So you could have, say on the second one with the step forward and thrust, this hand can come out at the same time as the beat and press their elbow. Definitely with this one, where you're stepping all the way across the line and making this guard, the left hand can come out at the same time, as long as it's underneath your sword and it's being guarded, right? And then you're already checking them. They can come out at the same time, this kind of like spreading motion as your hips are turning. And same thing with the one from the other side that the manual doesn't show. When you're doing this punching action upward to parry, the left hand can come out at the same time, and you're there, and you can just go. Okay, so now I'm going to show just kind of those in a series, just to kind of get yourself used to moving around with the sword in one hand. So I'll do that once more slowly. All right, let's go to Paul the Pell and see what this looks like against an opponent. So that's just something that I've been working with, kind of trying to incorporate the sword in one hand into some of my practice, just for fluidity and just to be more comfortable with the sword. I'll do a little bit more sword in one handed material, but this is also part of a kind of a short form that I'm working on as well. If you are interested to see more of this stuff, just comment below. Thank you guys so much for coming by the channel again. We're getting close to 50 subscribers, so share it around. Hopefully some other people will dig it. And yeah, thanks again. Be good to each other, and see you next time.